You know, I'm right. The podcast uncovers the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, entertainment, comedy, and so much more. Nick Durst here, along with the one and only Joe Calabrese. And Joe, what a Gail we have joining us here today on the show. And you can let everybody know how you met her and how this came to be.
Nick, you know the old saying, gals just want to have fun, right?
Yeah.
I got to meet her a couple weekends ago when our friend Mike Marino was doing a comedy show down in Jersey with Joey Gorga. So we're very happy to have her on. She was very sweet when I met her in person. Very quickly agreed to come on the podcast with us. So we welcome our guest, Amanda Gail. And as
Hi,
you can see, do you like puns?
Oh, I love puns. Give me
All
all
right.
the things you got. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Amanda, would you say your favorite singer is Gail? Do you rock out to A, B, C, D, F, U?
ABDCFU.
You know that song? You're going to make Joe sing here the song for you?
Yeah, if he'll have to. I don't know what that is.
A, B, C, D, that one.
E, F, U, and you don't know that song? You don't know Gail, your own namesake as a singer?
I'm failing at this podcast already. You guys can unbook me if you want. I'll sign up.
Oh, man. All right. How about this one? You know, what's your favorite type of wind? Do you like a light breeze or are you more of a gale force wind type of girl?
Gale Force Wind. I'll go with that. My namesake.
All right. All right. Now, from what I understand, you live in Hoboken, right?
Yeah.
All right. Hoboken, no joking. JC, Jay Calabrese, he's in JC in Jersey City, so not too far away. So let's just say for some reason, you know, maybe you were to ask Joe out to hang out or, you know, a date or something. Where would you take him on the first date? Would you take him to Hoboken? Would you go to Jersey City? Would you go to Manhattan? What's your ideal type of scenario there?
I think first date guy should come to the girl. So I would say Hoboken because there's all these cute date places. I mean, I guess maybe Brass Rail or
How about Cake Boss? Isn't that there?
Oh yeah, we can wait online. We can wait online for hours for Cake Boss. That'll be fun. We'll really get to know each other standing online.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's like waiting on a line at Shake Shack at City Field, right, Nick?
Yeah. I went to when I go to Shake Shack at City Field, I make sure I go for a day game, getting there 11 o'clock in the morning. Not a big line guy.
Yeah.
So I don't like to wait online. So I'll go where there's no crowd. And usually, you know, me and my wife have a saying, you know, we go places, we get there just in the, you know, they say the nick of time, but I say, because I'm Nick, just in the me of time. Because usually once I get there, then there's a big line after the fact. But, you know, it works out. What was your first impressions of meeting Joe a few weekends ago at Catch a Rising Star comedy show?
Very nice, very professional, very just like a nice stand-up, but cool, not, you know, not too like professional that you're like, oh my God, what's, you know, this guy's so square, but just like cool and professional and just, you know, nice, funny, friendly. Yeah, I had all good things, every good thing you could think of. I was like, oh, this is like a really stand-up guy. He's funny, he's nice, he's cool, he's professional. Obviously, I mean, if you're working with someone like he worked, you know, the people he works with, you have to be, you know.
All right. So what is your favorite podcast and why is it You Know I'm Right?
Well, this podcast is great because, I mean, you guys just cover different guests. I mean, it's sports, it's reality stars. And the fact that you guys can speak to anyone of different, you know, facets makes you a great podcast host. You know, it's, you know, just sports or just reality TV, you'd be, you know, one trick pony, but
appreciate the kind words. So for you, now we'll turn the tables to you more here. What was your upbringing like? And were you one of the boys or were you one of the gals?
I went through phases. So I think I grew up in the Bronx and I lived there till I was 8. I moved to Jersey. And then I went through a phase in middle school where I was really into the Yankees and the Knicks and the, you know, I had the starter jacket. Remember the starter jackets back in the day? I had, you know, the Knicks starter jacket. And I would just, you know, read all the, you know, sports news and just check the standings of all of the teams and like talk to my dad and watch my dad. And then I got to like junior high and high school and I just became more girl. I went to more cheerleading and so forth. So, but yeah, I went through a phase where I was a tomboy, I guess, or like into boy stuff. So
where did you go to school?
East Brunswick High School. That's where I went to high school. And then I went to
And-
Rutgers College,
And then
but
you went to Rutgers for
yeah.
college.
Keep chopping.
Yeah, right. What'd you study at Rutgers?
I did marketing and Spanish. I double majored.
Did you ever go to the Grease Trucks?
I did. RIP. Did you go there?
I went twice.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I maxed, I think I had 2 sandwiches at once, and that was the most I could do.
It's insane. It was like cheese fries and mozzarella stick. It's just like, I don't know. It was too much for me. I'm like, I don't see the appeal of this, but maybe I'm not that cool, but
Yeah, I went there once or twice with some friends from high school. So Amanda, when did you know that you wanted to be an entertainer or a performer? When did that light bulb come on for you?
I guess when I was little, I liked performing and entertaining and so forth. I was in the plays in high school, in college and high school, I was in plays. And then I don't know, it's like after you graduate college or high school, like people, you don't have hobbies really, right? Like all your extracurricular activities when you're a little kid. So I was like, I really want to go back into extracurricular activities that I used to love. So I did improv. And then when I did improv, someone asked me to do a stand-up show. And then so I found ways to, pursue what I loved after college. So that was good. And I don't know. I think you either like it or you don't. I can't, I don't think it's like, yeah. I don't think it's like kind of likes it. I don't know. Maybe there are.
So who in particular, which comedians are your biggest inspirations?
Yeah.
And what were some of the things like movies and TV shows that you enjoyed watching when you were younger, that you were favorites, that you kind of like the people in the show and you said to yourself like, oh, I want to do this?
Yeah. Well, I had an older sister growing up. I was very young when this show came out. I have a Gen X sister. So I watched 90210 when I was little, and I probably shouldn't have. I was way too young, but my mom was, by the second kid, your mom's just like, whatever, I guess, it's like, so I love 90210 and Melrose Place. And I mean, growing up, or a movie, I mean, I loved Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. That was such a funny movie, and Wayne's World. And
What happened to Jim Carrey? He's just like on a hiatus.
He was like the shit when we were growing up. Like like end all be all was like Jim Carrey. And now it's like, I don't know, he went nuts. I don't know.
They all go nuts.
I sound like a nutso, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, Britney Spears said some crazy things in her new book.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't think she wrote it.
No,
I don't think she wrote it either. She's had a bunch of ghostwriters. Apparently, it's one of the apparently after a day or so, it's like the best-selling like celebrity memoir.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. Do you plan on getting it? Do you plan on reading it just to kind of see if all your theories are correct?
I bought it already. I bought it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, when I heard, I'm a huge fan of hers. I really am.
Big fan of Britney. All right.
Big fan. I think out of all the pop stars, she's very real. I don't know, just she's messy. She's like she's trash. She's a mess. She doesn't try to be like uppity at all. I don't think I think she wants to quit the business, and she has handlers around her that are like, no. And I think there's an element where either she was crazy or they made her crazy. Is that the wrong podcast to bring this up on? I'm sorry. This is like lighthearted, and I'm like,
we'll see what the reviews say.
dark Hollywood.
No worries.
Yeah.
So moving on here to more lighthearted stuff. Your comedy career. How did you first get into comedy? How did you pursue that? Did you start off with the open mic night? Tell us about that journey.
Well, okay, so I started off in improv, and because I just wanted to perform and just do something creative. And then I met this guy who was putting on a stand-up comedy show in Hoboken. And he asked me to do it. And I was like, no, I'm not a stand-up. I'm not going to do that. And he kept asking me. And then I gave in and I did it. And for so long, I was like, why did this guy want me to do stand-up comedy so badly? And then I realized as a producer, because he made like $200 off of me that night. If you produce a show and you want people to come, put someone up that's never done stand-up before, because they will invite all their friends. And I was young back then, so I had like I had so many friends back then. So I had like 2 tables of friends come to see me, so, and that never happened after that. But, he made a lot of money off of me that night. He's like, get a new person to do stand-up and then their friends will come out. And so smart. At least that's my theory. I don't know. Maybe it's like the dark Hollywood theory, similar. It's like,
that could be your handler. You gotta watch.
Yeah, he's my handler. Yeah.
So tell us.
sorry, go on. But I
Go
liked
ahead,
it.
go ahead.
I pursued it. And I was like, how do I do this? How do I, so I mean, thank God he, wanted to make money off of me.
All right.
He deserves it. I got into it because of him.
So tell us about some of the most fun or famous people you've met or worked with, and your favorite people to do stuff in the entertainment business with.
Well, I worked with Gilbert Gottfried.
Nice.
That was really cool. He was great. He's the sweetest guy. And I mean, my favorite people to work with.
Yeah, some of the favorite people you worked with or just have met.
Oh my God, so many. My favorite people to work with that, like, name recognition, or I mean, I worked with Ari Shaffir before. I've worked with a lot of big names, not big, I mean, big names in the comedy scene. There is one comic that I think should get more recognition than he does. This comic named Mike Yard, and I worked with him at Governor's, and he is, I had a guttural belly laugh working with him. And I've never really, I laugh, but being comedy, you're kind of desensitized to, you don't laugh as hard. So I have to say he was hilarious. And yeah, I don't know. I worked at Uncle Vinny's a lot. So I worked with Bobby Kelly, who was awesome. He's crusher. He's so funny. And yeah, I guess anyone. I've worked with a lot of really nice people, down to earth, they don't treat you any different just because you're an opener,
Right.
Yeah. So most famous though that I worked with was Gilbert Gottfried, though. So
It's pretty cool. Tell
yeah.
us some of your favorite cities or venues to perform stand-up comedy, and what are some locations you'd ideally like to perform at in the future?
I love performing in Jersey, like Trust Factory and Uncle Vinny's. And I love the Jersey crowd and Catch a Rising Star. So I like Jersey crowds and Long Island crowds a lot because they're just, they're the type of people, they just want to have fun. They've worked a long day. They want to go to a comedy club. They want to hang their hat up, and they don't want to think, and not that, they're smart people. They just want to have fun, chill. So I love Jersey and Long Island crowds. I will say the hardest, a place that I probably will be reluctant to go back to is Philly. That's a very, very hard.
I don't want to go there. Brutal.
Nobody ever wants to go to Philadelphia.
They are not there for polite laughs. If something is not funny, they are not going to give you, they do not care. They will let you die up there. And I've never bombed so hard like I did in Philadelphia. So if I go back, I got to get real good because they're not going to bullshit you. So
ever considered in the future maybe working on some cruise ships, getting to go on vacation to do work like Mike Marino, who you grew out the show with? That's what he does.
Oh, he does. Yes. Oh, okay. I don't like cruises. I find them very confining.
You're missing out on some good times.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, it's probably all, probably see awesome places. I find cruises very confining. I just be on a ship. So, I mean, I would travel to a resort and do it. Is that like a cruise ship?
No, it's a little different. An all-inclusive resort, I think, is a little different than being on the ocean.
Sure.
For 5, 6 days, whatever it is. But in Mike's case, it's great because, again, it's very lucrative for him. Makes money on the performances. He's guaranteed to play in front of theaters and like a couple hundred people, 1,000 people, and you get a free trip out of it. So and he's done more cruises across the Atlantic. I think he's done it across like the Gulf, and I think he did one in like the Pacific Northwest.
He did Alaska.
Yeah, he did the Alaska one. So. Okay, you're right. Yeah, enough about Mike Marino.
Oh no, I love him. We could talk about him all day. Yeah. The other thing about cruises, though, you have to be very clean, and Mike is being hilarious and clean is such a skill.
Well, usually they have like an 8 p.m. clean show, then you got the 11 p.m. go for it show.
Okay, got it.
So I'm guessing you're more of a dirty act.
She's a dirty gal.
Well, I'm not filthy. I just think I'm not like vulgar, but I wouldn't call myself clean by any means, and
you would prefer a performance where there are no strings attached to you.
Yeah, it'll be so much. It's so much pressure. I once opened for someone and they were like, we want clean. And I was like, all right, I'll do it anyway. And I was so nervous because I'm like, this is not really that funny. This clean stuff's not really that funny, but I didn't do well. But I think because I was in my head, if I have rules, exactly. Like when you're creative, you don't want rules. You want to just be you. And when there's all these rules, you're thinking, you're like, is that dirty? Should I say this word? And it's like, I just want to say it. But the fact that Mike can be hilarious and clean is such a skill. So kudos to him that he could do that. It's hard.
How important do you think it is for a stand-up comedian to kind of bomb and have shows where things don't go well as part of like your career trajectory or arc? Because I think you have to experience a little failure before you really get to like that next level, right?
Yeah, you also get really you need to be humbled a little bit, especially early. If you're like crushing, you're probably not performing in enough venues, or you're not taking risks, or you're, and so you think you're better than you are. And then one day someone's going to tell you, and it's better earlier, I think, than when you're 20 years down the line, you're like, I'm the shit. And someone's like, no, you're not. You've just been performing in the same venue your whole life and saying the same jokes, So I think it is important to bomb, I guess. It humbles you. I think that's what it is,
So I want to talk about other things that you've done, like your writing for Reductress.
Yeah.
So how did that start? Is that something that you were just looking to do on the side, just to kind of like test the waters, see how you like your comedy translate into writing? And how hard is it translating spoken comedy to a verbal medium? Because I think with the way social media is today and with the way we consume content, sometimes reading something out doesn't necessarily get the point across or isn't as funny as somebody saying it, the cadence and delivery of somebody saying it. So what was it like writing for Reductress?
I really liked it. I mean, it's a satire. It's, a female magazine. It's a satirical take on female magazine. So it's like the glamour for the onions, it's the onions version of glamour. So I really like the satire. Yeah, I think it's easier with writing because you can proofread and like send it to somebody and you have time, right? And then on stage, everything's important because it's your tone of voice, the little word, the timing. So I almost feel like writing is easier than doing. I think stand-up is very hard. Stand-up and improv are very hard. But writing, satirical stories is, a bit easier, I think, because you have time to think about it and so forth. So, but you're right. If you write out a stand-up joke, I think if you write out your stand-up joke online, that can be totally misconstrued, But if you say it on stage, it's hilarious. But on paper, you'd be like, this girl's an asshole. Or you'd be like, why is that funny? But on stage, you're like, oh, I got it in the context of what the whole thing was. So,
Right.
Sorry, can we curse on this thing? You can bleep it out. Sorry.
No, we've had people curse.
Okay.
At the very beginning, I think we were a little, not stingy, but we were just kind of trying to avoid people put themselves to curse in. But now I don't think it matters. I think
Okay.
we've had so many episodes. I don't think we're going to get flagged for it.
Okay.
When did you start contributing for Anthony Cumia and Compound Media? And how do you like the platform as an outlet for your particular brand of comedy and humor?
I've been a guest on Compound Media a lot. And so it's just a free, I feel very free on that network. They really promote free speech. It's very much like free speech, not thinking about, oh, is this correct to say? Is that correct to say? Which, in some aspects, I think there's certain words and things you should not say, by the way. I'm not like, screw cancel culture. I think some words and phrases should be off limits to say because they really are offensive. But there's all these like little nuanced things that people say that it's like, okay, come on. It's, like some things, not everything is offensive, right? There are a few things that are very, very offensive. That's clearly offensive, but all these little nuanced things, it's like, come on, it's comedy. We're supposed to be provocative. So that's what I like about that network a lot.
Now, did he approach you, or did other people who have programs and shows on the network approach you, or did you kind of pitch yourself to them?
People on the network. Well, actually, no, I met someone who knew people at the network and recommended me. So that's why.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So are you related to the other Amanda Gail, who is a multidimensional healer, soul guide, and medium? And were you aware of this person before today?
I've seen her. She's on social media. Yeah. There's also an Amanda Gail bodybuilder, I think. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We're all different.
Maybe we should start a club.
I know, because we're all different, comedian, healer, bodybuilder, we're all different, vaguely different people. So
What's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Pisces.
Ooh, I like Pisces people.
What are you?
What does that mean, Joe? Pisces. I'm a Gemini.
Either-
Oh,
Yeah,
a
I'm
Gemini. Gemini men. Oof.
Oof, right?
I'm the best there is.
No, you're not.
The
No,
best
you're
there
not.
was. The
Absolutely
best there
not.
will be.
No,
do
no. Geminis have split personalities.
They always say be careful of Gemini men.
All right.
I'm sure
What do
you're
you-
probably a good one, but
Oh, you know what, Nick? We're gonna turn the tables and we're gonna put the guest on the spot here. What do you
Okay.
think I am?
you.
Yeah.
Taurus? Are you Earth?
Oh.
Okay, I think you're either Aries,
No,
fire.
no. That's
You
it.
got like 6 more you can guess, and then you got some.
Okay, wait, hold on.
There's
So
like there's like 10.
you're not a Taurus. So I was thinking Earth because I think you seem pretty grounded. You don't
Right.
seem like flighty, and you seem
I'll
grounded.
give you a hint. Think about America.
Ooh, that's a good hint.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great hint.
Thinking about America. I don't know. Okay, are you Scorpio?
No, that's
Right,
my rise. That's my rising sign.
That's
though.
your rising. I'm so happy. Okay, that's good. Rising.
That's it.
I got Scorpio or Taurus energy from you. I'll be honest. I was like either Scorpio or Taurus because there's something mysterious about you. There's something
Ooh.
you're not like all cards on the table, but
Right.
you're
I try not to be.
very
Nick-
Scorpio. That's so Scorpio to be mysterious and calculated and whatever. So okay, are you you're not an Aquarius.
Nick gave a really good hint.
America? Wait, hold on. America.
Independence.
Oh, Cancer.
Yes, there you go. See?
Cancer.
Yeah.
Can you guess Joe's birthday? What date it is?
July.
Come on.
July-
America.
July 4th.
There
Yes.
you go.
You were born on 4th of July.
Yes. And Nick is born on Memorial Day.
What's your? Oh my God! You guys are like, this is a very patriotic podcast. I was born on Alanis Morissette Day, which is
May,
Can
no, March 8th.
March 8th. Yeah, how'd you
There
know?
you go.
Jeez.
Well, it's also International Women's Day, so rah rah rah. But wait, what's your moon?
Virgo.
Your Virgo moon. Wow. So you're a lot of water.
Nick is falling asleep right now. He's like,
No, I love this. So you're all water, and then you have a Virgo, and your emotions are very stable. That's what I got. I got the stability from you. I got something stable from you.
What's
I
my
have a lot
moon,
of-
Joe?
I don't know. I need your birth time for that.
Oh, all right. I'll have to look into that.
All right. Nick is still awake. That's good.
Well, listen, you two, you're all about the zodiacs here, so maybe you could get together for a cup of coffee in Hoboken and exchange your stories about your rising moons and Mercury retrograde and all that jazz, and
It'll
figure
be
out.
Your
Yeah,
rising
water
moon.
signs. 2 water signs will be crying and sharing emotions.
So, Amanda, for you in your life or in your career, what would you say is your I'm right moment? What I mean by that is a time or place where you wanted to pursue something, you asked somebody for advice. They're like, Amanda, that's crazy. Why would you even bother with that? And you're like, you know what? I'm going to do it anyway. And ultimately, you will see why it is that I'm right.
I think it's when I started sharing content on the internet, like on my Instagram. And I think pre-pandemic followings were not important really. I mean, I think people had them, but then I started sharing content on the internet. I mean, not that I don't have by any means a huge following at all, but I got a following from sharing things. And when I started doing it, people are like, and meme accounts are picking it up and so forth. And people are just like, what, that's like trash. That's like lazy comedy or that. But, I think once the pandemic hit, people were like, who's your, who are these meme accounts are picking up your stuff? So, yeah, I think that posting stuff to Instagram and sharing content before it was like really popular was something I had a hunch about, but not that my following's so big, but I'm just saying that idea, I think I knew before the pandemic. So
yeah, well, there are certain levels to this. You got when you grow your following. And I think, again, it's like I was saying before, sometimes comedy translated to either written word or your social media posts. I think it could be hit or miss. And I think for a lot of people, if it's misconstrued and people don't like it, it's very hard to get off the ground immediately. But you do have a really strong following on Instagram. You're approaching 10,000 followers. So evidently people do like My last question for you is, Amanda, what's next? Do you have anything in the works? And ideally, where would you like to see yourself in the next couple of years?
So I am doing a podcast with my good friend Karen. It's called The Audacity. We basically just react to viral clips on the internet. I really want to, like you guys, have a great podcast. I've headlined a few times. I really like to do more headlining, just get more time in and close out a show. So it's a lot of pressure headlining, but that's how you get to the next level. So be a headliner, have a successful podcast. And yeah, I guess everyone's dream is that, right? So they quit my day job.
Everybody wants to be a podcaster now, Nick.
I think, well, maybe some crossover, we go on your show, maybe we open for you as a headliner.
Yeah.
I think it would make some sense. Talk to your handler, we'll make it happen.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Amanda, what's your message for the haters?
Oh, for the haters? I'm not quitting. You can call me every name in the book, but I'm not quitting. You can tell me I'm not funny. You can tell me I'm this, but I'm not quitting. And neither should any of you, unless you're really bad. But
well, luckily, Nick and I think you're very funny.
Oh, thank you.
You're a terrific guest. Amanda, we thank you for your time. We really appreciate it. We wish you the best of luck moving forward. I am literally probably a 10-minute walk from you. So we'll hang out eventually, grab some coffee.
Next time Hoboken and Jersey City flood, I'll think it's because of you with your water signs.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I think Nick is definitely the funnier one of the two of us, even though I think we have a great dynamic going that I think works really well. But like I said, we give our guests the last words and everything. So if there's anything else you would personally like to share or promote for yourself, by all means, go ahead. Again, we wish you best of luck moving forward. Hopefully we will be able to come out very, very soon and come to one of your comedy shows, whether you're in Jersey. I know I was at the Stand a couple of weeks ago. I saw Shane Gillis there and he was absolutely hysterical. So I know you performed there before. You got a presence around the city. So hopefully we'll be able to come out to you soon. But if there's anything else you would like to share, promote, the last words are yours.
Okay. Check me out on all social media platforms. I'm not really big on TikTok. I'll grow that. I'm going to start growing that following again. The Amanda Gail, come to shows. And what I'd like to say, closing words to anyone who's a creative, is that you should just do it and you shouldn't wait, because it never gets easier. So that would be my ending statement to anyone who's a, aspiring creative. So never gets easier. Just do it, fail, be embarrassed, and just cry, and then it's fine. Just get back up. So
good way to end the show. That's going to do it for this episode of You Know I'm Right. And for the first time, I'm going to end this episode by giving our guests some homework. Amanda, go listen to Gail. ABC, and that's going to do it for this episode of You Know I'm Right. For our special guest, Amanda Gail, my co-host, Joe Calabrese. I'm Nick Durst, and this has been You Know I'm Right.